Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on Impact Wrestling from tonight. And there was a release on WWE. Tyler Rex has been released. He requested himself. So he's been future endeavored. Well, technically he future endeavored himself. Okay, and some brief news from TNA Wrestling itself. The name of the wrestler who appeared in the gut check video that aired on last Thursday's Impact Wrestling is the name of Chris Louis. He appeared on tonight's Impact in the gut check challenge segment. Al Snow mentioned his name and shared more details about Louis' story during an appearance on TNA Today earlier this week. At Friday's TNA live event in Spencer, Iowa, Magnus won a battle royal and earned the opportunity to face TNA World Heavyweight Champion Austin Aries for the title later on in the show. Aries ended up winning that match by submission. Also on Friday's live Impact, AJ Styles defeated Rob Van Dam to earn 7 points in the Bound for Glory series. Double J, Jeff Jarrett, and his wife Karen have celebrated their 2-year anniversary wedding, and their anniversary was on Monday the 21st, or Tuesday the 21st. That's August 21st, 2012. Joey Ryan on Twitter at Joey Ryan Online, and Al Snow continued their Twitter Battle Royal, or whatever you'll call it. And you can catch Al Snow at The Real Al Snow on Twitter. And they began again also on the 21st of August. Sting and Mickie James will be making an appearance at the 19th annual Jimmy V Celebrity Golf Classic this Friday. That's tomorrow through Sunday at the Lonnie Pool Golf Course in Raleigh, North Carolina. The event will be open to the public on Sunday to watch Mickie and the other celebrities on the golf course. And of course, you're not watching the balls being hit. Also, the event will be honoring the brave first responders from the 9/11 that have come down with cancer from their tireless work at Ground Zero. The goal is to raise $1 million for a grant in their name. The Pope, D'Angelo Dinero, stated on Twitter that he will be sidelined for a few months. He has a collarbone injury, as he tweeted. Looks like Pope will be out of action, as they explained on Impact tonight. And it was a true injury during the segment from last week's Aces and Eights when they took him out of action. And he finishes off with a PHS. That means Pope has spoken, unquote. And you can also follow the Pope on Twitter. A video has surfaced online of TNA wrestling personality Claire Lynch appearing in the infomercial last year for 360 cookware, a stainless steel cookware set, after Lynch was identified online last week as Julia Riley, an Orlando-based actress and model with a lengthy resume of commercial and acting appearances. She made a concerted effort to erase her internet presence, including the contents of her official website and YouTube channel. This video was briefly removed and is now back online with embedding and comments abilities disabled. Lynch has not appeared on TNA Wrestling for the last couple weeks since her identity was revealed. She was, however, acknowledged on Thursday's episode of Impact Wrestling as AJ Styles said he must have been drugged to sleep with a foot like Claire. She was also referred to as Lizard. And finally, they gave her the X on tonight's show, but she wasn't on the show because she doesn't do very good acting on TV, in my impression. Past and present TNA Knockouts, Velvet Sky, Angelina Love, Winter, Rosita, and Bonnie Raitt Maxon are advertised to appear at Boston Super Mega Fest taking place November 17th and 18th at Sheraton Framingham Hotel. The address is 1657 Worcester Road, Framingham, Massachusetts. The Bowie Bay Sox in Louisville, Maryland sent word that the TNA stars appearing at the Base Brawl event on September 1st at Prince George's Stadium include Bobby Roode, Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy, and Austin Aries, AJ Styles, David, James Storm, Kazarian, Kenny King, Zema Ion, Magnus, Gil Kim, and Mickey James. Mickey James was not backstage for last week's live Impact Wrestling from Orlando. Eric Bischoff worked last week's tapings. His first in a while, Bischoff has been away working on projects for his production company. NWA Hollywood star Sean Ricker won the dark match before last week's Impact. He defeated Sam Shaw in his tryout match. In a recent interview with Steve Gerwick of Gerwick.com, Rob Van Dam teased that TNA will be bringing back a knockout soon. Van Dam asked thoughts on Winter, Angelina Love, and Velvet Sky. He replied, One of those names that you just mentioned is going to be coming back, I believe, or so I've been told, unquote. As seen on last Thursday's Impact Wrestling, former WWE diva Tiffany, that's Terrell, formerly married to Drew McIntyre, debuted for TNA as a referee last week. It appears that she will be the permanent knockouts referee from here on out. The August 20th edition of TNA Today, featuring guest Al Snow, can be viewed at youtube.com/watch ? V equals OLK Q capital D 4SFF94. Or you can just go TNA Wrestling on YouTube. Al Snow discussed his role as a director of talent relations and notes that he has relocated to Nashville to be closer to the TNA office. Jamie Boras stressed that the previous gut check winners were signed to developmental contracts. They also noted that Alex Silva has his work visa issues straightened out and is training in OVW again, and that's developmental territory. Snow also provided updates on gut check winners Taylor Hendricks and Sam Shaw, and takes jabs at Joey Ryan. Boras noted that Ms. Tessmacher will appear on Tuesday's TNA Today. And as I noted earlier, when I first started, Kurt Hawkins took to Twitter to let everybody know that on Wednesday, after it was announced that Tyler Rex has been released from WWE, and he quoted by saying, "Every day is a new opportunity," unquote, as Hawkins wrote. And he also wrote, "You can build on yesterday's success or put its failure behind him and start over again. Lucky for all of you, I'm not a dad yet. I'm just determined. I'm just a determined kid who loves the wrestling business. I'm here to stay. See you at the show," unquote. Follow Hawkins online at twitter.com/TheKurtHawkins. It's entertaining that Hawkins didn't mention his former partner by name or specifically reference his departure. Hawkins is good in the ring, and I'd like to see him get a real opportunity to get himself back over as a singles wrestler. And now for your Impact Wrestling results from earlier tonight. And that's the results from August 23rd, 2012, live from Orlando, Florida, in the Impact Zone. The show opened with the Sons of Anarchy, or Laughing Devils, or Aces and Eights, driving their motorcycles. A video recapping last week's action, with the narrator talking over the clips. Mike Tenay and Taz checked in on commentary from their perch on the stage. Sting's music played as he walked to the ring. He was followed by Jeff Hardy, Devon, A-Double, Bully Ray, Mr. Anderson, wait for it, Anderson, Kurt Angle, AJ Styles, Gunner, somebody different. Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, Robbie E, and Robbie T. Some more people that were different from the last week. The last 4 wrestlers remained on the floor. Sting had told security to leave the gate wide open for Aces and Eights for a challenge, since it's open challenge night. Updated everybody in the action. He paid tribute to the victims of Aces and Eights. And then there was a "We Want Hogan" chant. Sting called out James Storm and noted that the questions were answered last week when he was attacked. Sting acknowledged the "We Want Hogan" chants again. 2 scrubby-looking guys dressed like Aces and Eights came to the ring and got their asses kicked by the TNA wrestlers. The mask of the 2 men came off quickly. The skinnier of the 2 was one of note. Sting got upset and asked if that's all they brought, then they ain't nothing. Sting said he knew better. The man thanked Sting for the attack and said he was just patched in. He said that the TNA wrestlers are in for a long, painful night. And then Sting got in a body blow right in the stomach as they go to commercial. As I noted once before, all of the Aces and Eights members that we've seen so far had prospect patches on. It's possible to see that it's possible the guy who has been doing the talking isn't even a leader. As I've been saying, that when they were doing the videos, a couple from the backstage segments, the one guy, he wasn't even moving his mouth. You could see when somebody's talking, their voice box is moving. Well, that particular guy wasn't even moving his mouth. The previous segment was recapped, and this leads to Miss Tessmacher making her entrance, and the footage of Tarantella making Terrell's debut, aka Tiffany from WWE, as a referee was shown. Once in the ring, Tessmacher said that the question of whether she can beat her mentor and friends haunted her. Thus, she called out Tara. That sets up your first match of the evening. Tessmacher versus Tara in a non-title match. Taryn Terrell was the referee. She gets her own entrance. Tessmacher stumbled a bit on with an early leapfrog, and they recover quickly. They did some moves, hip toss, and they both counter each other with hip tosses to start off. Tara came back and superplexed Tessmacher off the top rope, of course. Okay, that's what a superplex is. And rolled it into a pin. And pinned her clean. And then they hugged after the match. The match took a total of 2 minutes 45 seconds. I thought they were setting up a program between the two of them last month when Tara won a Battle Royal. It was disappointed at the time. They went with the Madison Rayne and Earl Hebner silliness instead. I assume Tara will return at some point. Either way, I like the teacher versus student dynamic. Announcers then recapped Mason 8's recent attack on D'Angelo Dinero and noted that he was out with a broken collarbone. And you get backstage segment. Sting told AJ Styles, Rob Van Dam, and Robbie E that they would have a 3-way dance since they were all slated to wrestle Dinero in the final Bound for Glory Series matches. He said a pinfall is worth 7 points. A submission is worth 10 points. Just as normal. So business takes on as they go to commercial break. Well, that's logical. They would all have had a chance to earn those same number of points in matches against Pope. Meanwhile, there's notes that he believes that the unmasked Aces and Eights prospect is a Florida-based wrestler, indie wrestler named C.J. O'Doyle. Well, that's one of them revealed. Then the introductions for the 3-way dance took place. Rob Van Dam was up first, AJ Styles, and then Robbie E in the 3-way Bound for Glory series. This match was a surprise. After some routine 3-way action, they cut to a break. After the break, they showed footage of Van Dam monkey flipping Styles out of the corner. And then They go to another commercial, and back live, Styles was getting the better of Robbie E. with RVD at ringside, but he didn't last very long. TNA said that they were just moments away from finding out the results of AJ's paternity test. They said it has to be stressful for him with the looming as he wrestles a match. Styles came back with a big dive onto RVD to go back and commentate the match, and took Robbie E to ringside. Well, that got a rise out of the crowd. Styles got up limping, holding his leg or knee, and the announcer said he hit his shin on Robbie E's head. Later, Styles performed the flip off the middle rope and tried to go straight into the inverted DDT, but RVD stumbled. Once he stood up, Styles hit the move for a near fall. Van Dam and Styles fought on the top rope. Van Dam shoves Styles off and goes for the frog splash. But bounced off of him. Robbie snuck in and pinned RVD. 1, 2, 3, who was selling the punishment he took while performing his finisher. And RVD got up. It was like, surprise. It was like, what the heck? Like it wasn't supposed to happen. Good sell, RVD. Well, that match took 12 minutes 55 seconds to earn 7 points for Robbie E, who's now only got 14 points. Announcer showed the leaderboard. Robbie moved ahead with he got 12 points because he only had 5 last time. So he earned 7 points, and now he's got 12 points. A shot aired of Jeff Hardy walking backstage. Mike Tenay questioned whether he was going to call someone out as part of the open fight night, and they go to commercial break. The match was entertaining after the break, and I like the upset of Robbie E winning. It was similar to the SummerSlam triple threat finish. And the heel snuck in and took the advantage of the babyfaces executing his finisher. By the way, a .net reader has noted that the Aces and Eights wrestler his name is Irish Lionheart. That's C.J. O'Doyle. So his indie name is Irish Lionheart. Okay, I believe that's the guy who was getting beat up by Sting and got punched in the gut. Alright, so we get Jeff Hardy headed to the ring and said his recent history is his explanation. Of course, Robbie T has been interfering in his matches, so he challenged Robbie T and noted that it was not a Bound for Glory Series match. Match number 3, Jeff Hardy versus Robbie T. Terry used power moves early, including a slam for a near fall. Hardy came back with a whisper in the wind for his own 2 count. Hardy then knocked Terry down after 3 clotheslines. Mr. Robbie T came back briefly. I pity the fool. Yet missed a clothesline attempt. Hardy hits the twist of fate and followed up with a swanton for the clean pin. He didn't really sell it that much. That was bad acting on Robbie T's part. And Jeff Hardy won in a clean match against Mr. Robbie T. I pity the fool for his bad acting. And 2 minutes 35 seconds. Quick and painless. The live crowd loved Hardy. Robbie T didn't look as clunky as usual, but no one will confuse his in-ring work, such as Ric Flair's, anytime soon. Compared to Ric Flair's, I should say. Backstage segment. Daniels and Kazarian delivered a brief promo. Daniels said that Styles thinks of the answers are coming tonight, but he says he hasn't heard all the questions yet as they go to commercial. Backstage segment. Sting looked into the camera and taunted Aces and Eights. He started backing up, which I suspected that it was going to be a hit from behind. Well, they said he's not hiding and he's easy to find, and challenged them again to find them. If they're not going to come out, he's going to go find them. Well, we get another video recapping segment of AJ Styles drama. In the ring, JB, that's Jeremy Borash, introduced AJ Styles. He cut a promo and apologizing to his friends, fans, and family for having to suffer through this crap. He said that there's a night in his life that he can't even remember, and he wishes never existed. He said something happened that night with Claire, but he doesn't know what. And he's quoted by saying, "If I am the father of Claire's baby, our baby, I will accept the responsibilities of that child," as Styles said. He also said that if it's not his child, he doesn't want Daniels and Kazarian to say another damn word to him as long as they live. Well, Jeremy Borash introduces Claire Lynch, but Daniels and Kazarian come out instead. Of course, Claire's not even there. And won't be anymore. Well, they accuse him of being more concerned of his own brand, being responsible for the bullying problem, and turning his back on Claire. Daniels said Claire Lynch was not in the building because she suffered a placental disruption as a result of the stress that Styles put her through. Daniels said it's touch and go for her, as she's supposedly in the hospital. Daniels says he knows his fans join him in wishing Claire a speedy recovery. Daniels got in Styles' face and said every second Styles spends in the hospital is because Styles is a selfish bastard. A woman walked into the ring and introduces herself as the attorney for Claire Lynch. Daniels walked toward her and tried to take the mic. The woman told him to get his hands off of her. It was a very funny segment, as the crowd was well into it and cheered for the woman. The woman had read a statement from Lynch that revealed that she was approached by Daniels and Kazarian with the goal of framing and blackmailing Styles. She admitted to taking part in the numerous illegal and unethical activities, including adding a sedative to a cola beverage that rendered Styles unconscious. She admitted that the photos were taken to perpetuate the fraud. Lynch's statement noted that she instructed her attorneys to contact authorities. She also revealed that she is not, nor has ever, been pregnant. The crowd cheered as Daniels and Kazarian threw a fit. Lynch's statement included saying that she hopes Styles and his family can someday forgive him, and added that Styles is and always has been the man his fans have known him to be for years. The attorney then handed the mic over to JB and then left the ring. JB held the ropes up as a gentleman should do. As she left the ring, Styles caught Daniels with a kick to the head, and the heels fled the ring. Styles played to the cheering fans as they go to break. The only thing really surprising about the reveal was the reaction to the live crowd. They were actually into what the lawyer was saying and enjoyed rallying behind Styles. That being said, I still wish this would have played out in the Maury Povich studio or any other reality show, such as Phil Donahue. Video footage aired of the gut check segment, gut check contest, stressing that there are no riders and this is real. He said he can't provide for his family without winning the contract. He said he'll show the judges that he has charisma and talent in the ring. He said he'd kill himself to get a contract and will blow the roof off the house if he gets a match. Backstage segment with Aces and Eights looking for Sting, who approached him from behind and acted crazy. He had a deck of cards and said that, "Want to play some games? I got some 2-car pickup that you can play." As they were distracted, Sting threw his back to Hulk Hogan, who was standing behind them. Hogan knocked one of them out with a bat. And this is not Hulk Hogan anymore. It's Hollywood Hogan. He's wearing his black bandana, black sunglasses, and he's got his black beard with his white mustache, blonde mustache, whatever you want to call him. Bleach, I just say it, bleach mustache. Hogan told the man that if he ever looks at his daughter again, he'll cut his heart out and feed it to a dog. Hogan made a bunch of weird snorting noises. Sting calmed her down, and then he said, "Hollywood, you're back." Hogan had stubble and, of course, the Hollywood Hogan look. Why didn't Hogan pull the mask off the guy's face while he had him knocked out? Why would Sting be excited to see Hollywood Hogan, who is the evil incarnation of Hulk Hogan? Well, because it's old school. Footage aired of the previous segment with Sting and Hogan. A video package showcased Alex Silva, who talked about what winning gut check meant to him. It's also showed him training at OVW. Alex Silva lives. For those who don't recall, he was the first guy to sell a sob story and get a contract. In the ring, Jeremy Borash introduced the contestant, Chris Louie, for his debut match. Borash said, "This is your gut check." And Gunner made his entrance for his challenger. His tryout match. So Chris Louie versus Gunner. Gunner mocked Louie, who took him down with an arm drag. Later on, Louie missed a top rope move, and Gunner pinned him away with his finisher. I wasn't impressed with the guy. He's got good speaking skills, but in the ring, nah, nothing. Taz said Louie should be showing some intestinal. He did show some intestinal fortitude, desire, and heart, but he was giving up way too much experience to Gunner. Because he missed one move and that was over. Because he was stalling during the match, and everybody knows when you stall, you get beat. And that match took 2 minutes 50 seconds. Okay, and next up was a shot airing of Mr. Anderson walking backstage. Commercial break. It was obvious Louis' early flurry of offense wasn't going anywhere because the announcers were busy talking about how great it was to have Hollywood Hogan back. Still can't understand why that's a good thing, and considering that it was less than a year ago that they were happy to have Hollywood replaced by the red and yellow Hogan. As for the gut check match, they're all the same. The rookie gets a little offense, but the veteran eventually puts them away and wins clean. Backstage segment that I missed. I had to go online to get the middle part of the results. I had to take my dogs out for their walk. ODB spoke on the phone with Eric Young, who was again not on Impact as he's doing his TV appearance for his TV show. She said that he needed to stop finishing whatever he's doing and catch his wife. After she hung up, then she calls out to someone off camera and asks how old the guy was. I guess she said, "Bam!" Mr. Anderson made his entrance and his mic dropped down once he was in the ring. Yeah, you know, that type of segment. He said that he was having his last BFG series match. He introduces Bully Ray as his opponent and challenger. Mr. Anderson versus Bully Ray in a Bound for Glory series match, which is basically your main event because the other one wasn't even a scheduled match. Announcers looked at the standings from the leaderboard. Anderson was 10 points down from the cutoff line. Taz said he needs points. Bully Ray took control and they cut to break at 1 minute 40 seconds of the match. After the break, Ray was still on the offense. Anderson came back, got a 2 count even though he needs 10 points. They cut backstage to show Gunner, Robbie T, and Kurt Angle attacking members of Ace and Eight back in the ring. Anderson kicked out of a Bully bomb and then dropped him. Of course, the way it looked like he was supposed to have the full Nelson in, but instead he just wrapped him around and picked him up for the butt bomb. Butt drop, I should say. Anderson then went to the top and performed a swanton for a 2 count. He came back. Okay, let me go back. He kicked out of a Bully bomb and then dropped him with a DDT. Then went to the top and performed a swanton for a 2 count. Came back a short time later with a mic check and scored the pinfall. That match took 11 minutes 45 seconds to earn 7 points in the BFG series. What a mess. The announcers, writers, and Anderson looked like morons. If Anderson was 10 points down and this was the last match in the BFG series, then he needed to win by submission in order to have any chance to make the top 4. Granted, guys can lose points in the BFG series, but given Anderson's place in the standings, it was idiotic of him to bank on that. A good match with an embarrassing flawed logic and a missed storytelling opportunity. Announcers then showed the standings and noted that Anderson was just short of the cutoff line. Yeah, no shit. Backstage, the Bane guy of Aces and Eights said that the TNA wrestlers want to fight, but they're playing their game. He said in about 3 minutes, in 30 seconds, they were going to unleash hell and give out the dead man's hand. Commercial break. After the break, Sting led a long line of TNA wrestlers to the ring as the announcers gushed over how they are all coming together to fight the common enemy of Aces and Eights. Sting recalled the Bane wannabe, saying it would be 3.5 minutes until they did their thing. I wonder why they did that, because didn't somebody else, Eric Bischoff, was a 3-minute warning? Well, now they go 3.5 minutes. So, I wonder if how that's playing in. So, would that be his involvement in Aces and Eights? He called them out and got no response initially. Finally, members of Aces and Eights emerged from different points in the building. And if you paid attention to it, you can check it online. A lot of the guys were in the ring and around the ring wrestling. And then when they go to the back, the same guys are battling with wrestlers backstage. Is that smart, or is anybody going to catch that? Okay, well, Anderson had to be censored as he talked smack while pounding on one of the Aces and Eights members. Backstage, Hogan was showing swinging and missing with a bat. Meanwhile, James Storm and AJ Styles were beating up other members of the Ace and Eights gang in the ring area. Back in the Impact Zone, A-Double, Van Dam, and Jeff Hardy stood in the ring. Then they cut backstage where the fight continued with Hogan, Storm, Styles, and the guys that they were fighting with. The fight continued in another part of the building. Another group of Aces and Eights members showed up at ringside. Again, to me, it's the same guys, making it look like there were multiple guys. But come on, you can do better than that, TNA. A-Double dove on to them. Cameras cut again to various parts of the building where the fights continued all over the Impact Zone and backstage. One of the bigger guys got the better of A-Double. Then a big group of the gang set up a piece of the guardrail on the top rope and held Aries' arm on top of it while the Bane wannabe guy slammed a chair on it. The guys in the ring stood over the fallen Aries. Bully Ray ran out with a chair and cleared the ring. Outside the building again, the members were shown getting on their motorcycles and driving away to close the show. Again, the same guys that were still at the in the ring, and there was like 7 or 8 guys riding off on their bikes. Could have been 10 guys, and they were back wearing their mask and everything. What a way to sell a show. Segments. Putting their mask back on after they were revealed. Way to go. To make it real. So that was a messed up, screwed up piece of crap to end a decent show for Impact with the gut check challenges and what have you. Wild brawl to end the show. There were so many guys that made it from the very many segments. If anybody notices, the same guys in the ring were fighting backstage. They go back and forth. Plus, I don't understand why they didn't make A-Double a bigger part of the show, like have a match or something to challenge anybody. Well, I guess they was giving them a break setting up this main event. I want to like it, but I also hope they settle down and tell a story, then focus on a handful of guys from each team rather than this 25-on-25 gimmick or whatever. At least that's how it's felt. This was way out of time frame, so you can easily tell that the time frame of the show taping in parts being outside with daylight and the same guys brawling backstage with the same guys in the ring at the same time. Come on, TNA, do a lot better than that when you're doing your splicing and piecing together to make a show. Come on, make it look at least sensible. And I don't know how many other guys didn't notice that, other than that. And if you do notice it, go to TNA Wrestling to check it out. That's TNA Wrestling on YouTube. And that closes out my show for this evening and this week. Peace out. God bless. Stay tuned for Monday's Raw events on Monday night.